You know that feeling when you check your phone, again, waiting for a message from someone who's caused you nothing but pain? Yeah, that one. And the worst part? You know better. You've read the articles, your friends have told you. Maybe you've even told yourself 100 times to walk away. But you don't. Instead, you're lying in bed at 2 a.m., replaying conversations, making excuses, convincing yourself that this time will be different, that they'll change, that the version of them you fell for will come back. Here's what nobody tells you about trauma bonding. It's not about love. It's about survival. Let me explain what I mean. Machiavelli understood something brutal about human nature. He wrote that people are more loyal to those they fear losing than to those who treat them well. Think about it. The prince who keeps his subjects uncertain, who gives just enough hope, just enough reward, he controls them completely. That's trauma bonding. And you're living in a kingdom where the ruler keeps changing the rules. Now, I want you to say something with me, out loud if you can, or just in your mind. I am not broken for feeling this way. Say it again. I am not broken for feeling this way. Good, because you're not. Your nervous system is doing exactly what it was designed to do, and that's what makes this so dangerous. Here's how it works. Thomas Hobbes talked about the state of nature, that primal place where we're driven by fear and the need for security. When someone alternates between hurting you and comforting you, your brain doesn't process that as two separate people. It registers a threat that occasionally becomes safe. And what do we do with threats that might kill us? We monitor them, obsessively. Your ancestors survived because they paid attention to the predator at the edge of the camp, the one that disappeared for days, then came back. They had to track its patterns, predict its moods, read its signals. That's why you can't stop thinking about them. Your brain has classified this person as a survival threat, and the moments when they're kind? Those aren't love. Those are relief. Relief is one of the most addictive feelings humans can experience. Think about it this way. If someone punched you in the face every day at 3 p.m., and then one day they didn't, you'd feel grateful. Not because anything good happened, because something bad didn't happen. That's the trap. Rousseau believed humans are born free but everywhere are in chains. He was talking about society, but here's what he missed. Sometimes we forge our own chains. We hand the keys to someone who promised to protect us, and instead, they built a prison. I need you to repeat something else with me. My attachment is not evidence of their worth. Again, my attachment is not evidence of their worth. Because listen, the strength of what you feel doesn't validate the relationship. It validates how deeply you've been manipulated. John Locke wrote about consent, about how power is only legitimate when freely given. But here's the dark truth about trauma bonding. Your consent was never free. It was engineered. They showed you heaven, then dragged you to hell, then offered you a ladder that only went halfway up. Let me show you the formula. Because there is a formula. First, idealization. They're perfect. You're perfect. This is destiny. They've never felt this way before. You're special, different, the one who understands them. Machiavelli's prince knew this. You win people over by making them feel chosen. Then, devaluation. Suddenly, you're doing everything wrong. You're too sensitive, too demanding. You're imagining things. The warmth disappears. The criticism starts. You're walking on eggshells, analyzing every word, every facial expression. Hobbes called this the war of all against all. Except you're the only one fighting. And just when you're about to leave, just when you've finally had enough, Intermittent reinforcement. They come back. They apologize. They cry. They promise. They give you that look, the one that made you fall in love in the first place. And your nervous system floods with relief, with hope, with oxytocin and dopamine and every chemical that says, finally, finally, they're back. But here's what you need to understand. That version of them, the one you're waiting for, that person was the bait, not the reality. Max Weber studied authority and legitimacy. He identified 3 types: traditional, charismatic, and rational legal. Trauma bonders use charismatic authority. They make you believe in them as a person, not in any system or structure. And when authority is personal like that, when it's based on their mood, their approval, their presence, you have no rights, only privileges they can revoke at any time. Say this with me. I deserve consistency, not chaos. One more time. I deserve consistency, not chaos. And you know what? You do. You really do. Here's something else that happens, something darker. You start to believe you're the problem. Because if you're the problem, then you have control. You can fix it. You can be better, try harder, love smarter. But if they're the problem, then you're helpless, and your brain will do anything to avoid feeling helpless. Cesare Borgia, the man Machiavelli modeled his prince after, understood this perfectly. He didn't just conquer cities, he made the people grateful for being conquered. He'd create chaos, let them suffer, then sweep in as the solution. Sound familiar? They create the problem. They are the problem. Then they position themselves as the only one who can save you from themselves. And here's the part that hurts the most. The good days, they feel so good. Better than good days with anyone else ever felt. Because you've been starving. And crumbs taste like a feast when you're hungry enough. But listen to me. A healthy relationship doesn't make you grateful for basic decency. It doesn't make you celebrate the absence of abuse. It doesn't require you to earn love you've already given. Say this one with me. I will not beg for what I freely gave. Again, I will not beg for what I freely gave. Good. Hold on to that. So, what do? First, you stop waiting for them to validate your reality. Montesquieu designed separation of powers specifically to prevent tyranny. One person should never be your executive, legislative, and judicial branch. They shouldn't be the one who hurts you, judges whether you were hurt, and decides the punishment for your reaction. You need to separate those powers. Find other people, trusted people. Let them be witnesses to your experience. Second, you document. Write down what actually happens, not what you hope it means, not the potential, the reality. Dates, events, words. Because memory is unreliable when you're traumatized. Your brain will try to protect you by minimizing, by finding explanations, by remembering the good times. Write it down. Third, understand this. Leaving isn't a single decision. It's 100 small decisions. Some days you'll backslide. Some days you'll want to reach out. That's normal. Trauma bonds don't break clean. They fray. And that's okay. Carl Schmitt said the sovereign is whoever decides the exception. Right now, they're your sovereign. They decide when the rules apply and when they don't. Take that power back, one decision at a time. Here's what I want you to know, really know. The fact that you're listening to this, that means part of you already sees it. Part of you is already fighting. That voice that brought you here, that's not weakness. That's your survival instinct, trying to save you from the thing that's pretending to be your survival. Last affirmation, and I want you to really feel this one. I am allowed to leave someone I still love. I am allowed to leave someone I still love. Because love and safety aren't the same thing. And you deserve both. The philosophers I've quoted today, they understood power, how it's gained, how it's kept, how it corrupts. But here's what they also understood. Power can be reclaimed. You are not stuck. You're just scared. And that's human. If this resonated with you, do me a favor. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. Hit that like button. Subscribe, because we're going deeper into the psychology of control, manipulation, and liberation. And remember, the cage only works if you forget you have hands. You have hands. Use them.